Good day, Ma'am Erica. By the way, I'm Angelo Gitcano from School of Teacher and Education. So here are my final output about the global issues in the Philippines. My spoken word that entitled Lack of Educations in the Philippines. I was raised in a country of contradictions, where smiles are bright but classrooms are dim, where children's laughter echoes in narrow streets, but the halls of learning fall silent, where the Filipino spirit is strong, but the system holding it up cracks under the weight of neglect. I remember my own school days, plastic chairs, blackboard shaped like broken promises, fans whirring slow against the thick but hot air, 30, 40, 50 students packed into a room meant for 20, some standing by the door, some sitting on the floor, sharing textbooks so worn. The words were fading like our patience. And yet, we learned, we endured, because in the Philippines, education isn't just a right, it's a revolution whispered from one generation to the next. But tell me, how much longer can we whisper when our mouths are gauged by poverty? Outside our classrooms, the storms come heavy, literally and metaphorically. Typhoons tearing roofs of schools, then months waiting, classes cancelled because rebuilding takes budget, and budget takes approval, and approval takes interest, and interest takes seeing us as more than statistics in dusty folders. In some barrios, students cross rivers in makeshift boats, wade through mud just to reach school. And when they arrive, sometimes no teachers, no books, no electricity, just hope, thin and trembling like a candle against the storm. And yet, we can't call them lazy. When they fall behind, we call them unmotivated. When they choose survival over algebra, the irony burns. It sears deep. Because the truth is, no child chooses ignorance. Ignorance is planted, watered by corruption, harvested by indifference. It makes me angry. No, it makes me act. To think that in the archipelago I call home, in the land that birthed heroes, artists, dreamers, a child biggest hurdle isn't their lack of intelligence, it's their lack of access. It's the school abandoned in the provinces, the teachers and the underpaid, overworked, undervalued. It's the families forced to choose between feeding stomach and feeding minds. Education should be the bridge from poverty to power. But here, it's a bridge crumbling with every typhoon, every budget cut, every broken promise shouted in election rallies. And I think back to myself, the young student who come once by the window, daydreaming about changing the world. I had the chance because I had teachers who stayed late even when their paychecks came late. I had parents who fought to buy notebooks even when rice ran low. I was lucky, but luck should not decide a child's future. So hear me now. The message is simple. Education is not a favor. It is a right, not a privilege for the rich, not a prize for the urban elite. It is foundation of freedom, the heartbeat of democracy, the seed of every future we dare to imagine. And when we fail to protect that right, we fail our nation. Imagine a Philippines where every child, from the streets of to the shores of, from the mountain tribes to the bustling crowds of, can sit in a proper classroom, not worrying about leaky ceilings, not sharing one book among five classmates, not deciding between school and survival. Imagine the leaders we choose we lose every day to neglect. Imagine the course not discovered, the innovations never built, the poverty unwritten, the songs unsung. All because we choose convenience over commitment. And the saddest part, it's not that we don't have enough money, it's that we don't have enough will. Billions are spent on things we don't need. Billions are pocketed by those already full. Meanwhile, children walk miles just to reach a dream that keeps slipping further away. This is not just about statistics. This is about lives. About a boy who named Angelo who sells every night but dreams of becoming a teacher. About a boy named Angelo who wants to teach us because their school closed after the last and no one can came to rebuild it. When I hear ang kabataan ng pag-asa ng bayan, the youth are hope of the nation. I want to believe it. I still do. But hope needs more than slogans. Hope needs classrooms. Hope needs textbooks, not torn pages. Hope needs teachers who are honored, not treated like afterthoughts. Hope needs actions. Invest in education, not for headlines, not for photo ops, but because the future demands it. Raise teachers' salaries, modernize schools, prioritize rural areas, indigenous communities, places forgotten by Manila's bright lights. Make internet access a right, not a luxury. Create spaces where learning thrives, where no child ever feels that dreaming is too expensive. Because when we teach a child, we don't just feel a mind, we we light a fire, we sharpen a sword, we craft the architect tomorrow. And God knows the Philippines deserve better tomorrows.